Howdy and welcome back to the workshop. In today's episode, we're going to be building something pretty special, a little knife bracelet. Now, bracelets are something that I have been making for a very long time. This right here is one of the first things that I ever made, ever. What it is some big thick old wire from Home Depot. I then cut off the ends and fused the ends of the copper together, and it was a bracelet that I wore for quite some time. The most recent kind of evolution of bracelets that I've been making are these knife bracelets right here. This pattern in particular is the chef's knife that I have in my kitchen. It's pretty similar to a lot of the chef's knives that I make, but this one in particular was exactly the same as the chef's knife in my kitchen. Now today, we're going to be building a bracelet for my friend Francesca Ritchie. You guys might remember her from the leatherworking video that we did a couple months ago. And this bracelet is something that I owe her from doing that video way back then. So we're going to do it in kind of a fun way. There are several different ways to build a bracelet. You can cut it out of a piece of plate, you can forge it down from rod or bar stock, or you can cast it in something. This right here is 99.9% pure silver casting grain. And so I'm not actually good enough at casting to make a wax mold for this and to pour it, but what we are going to do is make a little steel mold and then pour our casting grain into that and then do some kind of forging from there and then filing and finishing to get it to where we need it to be. So with that, let's head on over to the milling machine and cut ourselves an ingot mold big enough to get ourselves a bracelet from. New plan, we're not going to go to the mill. We're going to use this piece of 1/2 inch, I guess really it's probably 3/4, but the inside is 1/2 inch square tubing. We're going to cut off the side that has the seam on it. Then we're going to weld some plates on the side. We're going to bend it, we're going to bend it open, weld some plates on the side, and that way we'll have kind of a trapezoid shape. And that way the liquid silver will very easily release from this guy. Okay, so we want 5 ounces. That whole mold will hold a little more than 5 ounces. All right, we're going to be using this cast iron ladle to melt it. I'm almost certain that that's not the best way to do it, but maybe it'll work. Now, silver doesn't have a particularly high melting point. I think it's like 1780 degrees or something like that. So this should be relatively easy. I'm going to preheat this guy first. I think you're supposed to do that. Again, I don't actually know anything. That crucible will get kind of hot. Ladle, it's really more of a ladle. I don't actually know if it's made for this either. Oh, starting to get a little bit of melting. Nice. Very nice. Maybe, I don't know. That went very poorly, I think. Alrighty, let's see how it likes that. I really hope we didn't get just a butt ton of porosity, but that's very, very possible. We're gonna try it. We're gonna give it a little quinchy quench. Uh-oh. Let's just try this guy first. That is so soft. Cool. It's what is it, like $100 of, oh, I broke my screwdriver. Oh, and there we go. It might be usable. Oh, it's bubbly on the sides. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and cut through this feller with a jeweler's saw to see how bad the porosity is on the inside and if we're gonna need to do something else or if this will work. Oh wait, I have a bandsaw. Try a little bit of sandpaper, some 220, and that should really let us know. That looks like a solid bar to me. While the inside looks good, there's still some crustiness on the edge. Okay, so this is the old pattern that we're building it off of. Unfortunately, this one was bronze and the tip broke off. I guess it work hardened during the bending process. It was a chopping knife that I made a while back, the one that Francesca built a sheath for. So that's what we're building it off of. It needs to be about 5 3/8 of an inch long. So we're gonna start off with that. We want it to be relatively well proportioned. It can be elongated a little bit. All right, that's what we're shooting for. Whoa. Now that I have it drawn up, I can pretty clearly see that this is not enough material. So we're gonna figure something else out. We're gonna throw this into this puppy right here, an actual kind of crucible. And then we're gonna throw it in the old kiln and let it come up to probably not quite 2,000 degrees, probably a little bit less than that, but that could do it. Okay. Add a little flux in there, a little barrier from the oxygen, and now let's do it. While we're waiting for that to come up to temperature, I want to experiment a little bit with kind of whacking on this and seeing what it does. It's getting really hot.
As you forge it?
Yeah. It's the friction heat coming from it. Now, while this process is not particularly convenient, simple, easy, or nutritious, today's sponsor, Factor, is. Nailed it. Now, Factor is an online meal subscription service that sends you never frozen, fresh, chef-prepared meals straight to your door with all different sorts of options between gluten-free, calorie-smart, chef's choice, vegan, vegetarian, whatever you want. They're delicious and they're ready to go nice and quick, which means that you don't have to waste time going to the grocery store. You don't have to waste time doing dishes, anything like that. Now they also have an awesome variety of smoothies and protein shakes and juices and stuff like that. This is my first time trying their cold pressed juices. I'm gonna be drinking this apple kale wheatgrass, which I'll be honest, doesn't sound amazing, but it does taste amazing. And Isaiah is enjoying a ginger orange goldfish. What's the third one? Carrot. And honestly, it's super tasty. I really enjoy these. So if you guys are interested in checking out and getting some simple, easy meals delivered straight to your door, go to factor75.com and use code WillStelter50 for 50% off your first Factor box. That link will be down in the description down below. Thank you, Factor, for sponsoring today's episode with that. Let's see if that silver melted yet. Isaiah thinks it's melted. I'm not totally sure. Nope. Hot. They should really create some sort of leather thing that could go over your hands to protect you from burning yourself on stuff. Turns out someone made those. Never mind. Yep, that's molten. That doesn't need any stirring. And that went about 1,000 times smoother. We should have done that last time. Oh my gosh. Think about how much time we just wasted. Like a large oh my gosh. Well, oh, you know what, I forgot. I got these tongs right here. My quenching tongs, which is perfect because we need to go quench this. I don't actually know if that's what you're supposed to do, but we're gonna do it because I have the patience of an 8-year-old. I wonder if the expansion rate of steel is such that it is clamping on. Oh, whoa. Guys, that works so good. Look at that, pure silver.
It's actually 99.9% silver, Will.
Hey Isaiah, why don't you shut up? Nice. crusty, icky flux. And I think we're allowed to start forging on it. Let's just cut off the end, make sure that it's really pure. It is perfect, no porosity. All right, we're gonna draw it out a little bit. So for any metal that you're working, pretty much, if you're working it with a hammer, it will eventually harden. It's called work hardening. Steel does it, copper does it, gold does it, and silver does it. And so I'm gonna heat this thing up with my torch and then quench it in water. I need to get it to about 1200 degrees Fahrenheit and then quench it in water, and that will soften it enough that I can keep on whacking on it to shape it into the shape of the knife that I'm looking for. Getting close. We're going to leave it there for the forging. It's time to move on to the hand files to get this profile tuned in. This is done. Let's go to the belt grinder. Wow, silver is just way too easy to work with. Well, I am just thrilled with how this thing came out. It is my first time working with silver in 8 years probably, and it turns out it's a super nice, pleasant material to work with, kind of fun to do some jewelry stuff again, and I hope, well, it sounds like Francesca likes it.
I do.
She does. It's good. I'm definitely gonna be building more of these. While I was working on this, I was also working on casting some shibuichi, which is a Japanese alloy, and I'm hoping to get into doing some mokume stuff. And if these being for sale is something that you guys would be interested in, drop a comment down below. So thanks for watching. Huge thank you to Factor for sponsoring today's episode. Thank you to our patrons for patronizing us, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.